Hey, what's going on, Internet's Khalif here again for This Place is Weird. I found another article that reminded me of something that I think is an interesting topic to talk about. I'm going to go ahead, let's read through the article and then we'll chat a little bit afterwards. So, for NBC News, Ohio siblings face felony charges after 250-year-old walnut tree is chopped down. Two Ohio siblings were charged with felony theft after they arranged to cut down a tree estimated to be over 250 years old that was located on city property, officials said Friday. Todd Jones and Laurel Huffman, 56 and 54 respectively, allegedly illegally felled the centuries-old black walnut in the Cleveland suburb of Strongsville in September 2021 in order to sell it for lumber, according to a report from Cleveland Metro Parks Police. Jones's and Hoffman's mother-in-law, Deborah Jones, lives in the house near where the tree was chopped down at the border of Mill Stream Run Reservation, where an adjacent property was recently acquired by Cleveland Metro Parks. Deborah Jones is the widow of the siblings' father, Robert A. Jones, and was not charged with a crime. In remarks to police, Jones initially denied having anything to do with the tree's destruction and said that his sister may have been to blame. Jones reportedly became quote-unquote defensive after an officer told him that records indicated that his mother-in-law had already shown them the tree stump and admitted that he and his sister had arranged to have it logged and sold for lumber. The family said they believed the tree was located on their property, but charging documents said a police investigation found at the center of the stump of the 5.5 foot wide tree was 7.5 feet outside of their property. Further investigation found the tree was worth $28,814.74, and its replacement would cost $102,909.77. Hold up, just for a second, I'll pause it. How the fuck does it cost over $100,000, 100 bands to plant a tree, dog? Like, are the seeds, like, is this a RuneScape, dude? Is this a fucking magic tree seed? Like, what? Huh? I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand the logistics when it comes to planting trees and all that stuff. Maybe, like I said, no idea. Anyways, back to it. Hoffman and Jones were charged on December 29th with one count each of theft by deception and falsification, according to court documents. Hoffman, in remarks to Cleveland.com, said, quote, "It's ours. I just don't understand any of this." Quote, "This is so ridiculous that they're doing this," Jones told the news site. "This is insane. There was no ill intent." The tree was located in a nature preserve, and its trunk was nearly 6 feet in diameter, making it one of the oldest in the Buckeye State, according to Metro Park spokesperson Jacqueline Gerling. Quote, "We suspect the tree was possibly over 250 years old. Given our urban setting and the threats to healthy tree growth, it's very uncommon to find a black walnut of this size," unquote. Gerling wrote an email to NBC News. Cleveland Metro Parks Police Department oversees more than 24,000 acres of land, including the reserve adjacent to the Joneses' home. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says black walnut trees are one of the scarcest and most coveted native hardwoods and have been heavily logged. I guess that would account for it being rare to find the seeds, the acorns, whatever. Hoffman's attorney, Christina Bruck, did not immediately respond to an NBC News request for comment. Jones did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The siblings are due to be arraigned in court on January 20th. In July, a California couple faced an $18,000 fine for destroying 36 Joshua trees protected as a candidate for the California Endangered Species Act. Earlier last year, an Arkansas man pleaded guilty for felling 27 trees in Mark Twain National Forest. An NBC News investigation in July found that the world's largest home furnishing retailer, IKEA, is likely to have sold children's furniture made of illegally logged Russian pine. Ooh, saucy. Okay. So that's a pretty interesting story. So two things that came to mind when I was this article, came up to me first. Immediately, it's like we were talking about. I think I talked about it with the stolen bridge. One of the first videos I made. That supply chain issues, construction materials are going up in price and being more scarce and stuff, to where people are actually like stealing stuff out of construction sites and stuff like that. I mean, somebody stole a bridge in Ohio. Like, they straight up stole a whole ass bridge. So yeah, people start turning to more creative ways to procure the resources necessary when times are scarce, things get rough. And here it just seems like these people needed to do it for money, for financial reasons. I mean, we're going through a pretty difficult financial time in not just our country, but the world in general. What with you know, the virus going through, people are losing jobs depending on what kind of industry people are in. Like entire, you know, livelihoods are being turned upside down. And apparently this tree, it was worth $28,000 for this lumber. I mean, that's like one of those things. And see, these people seem like they like are actually just like it hit them out of the blue, like they weren't trying to steal it, like that person stole the bridge. If it was like, if they had ever been ticketed or told to care for the tree, like make sure that it's like branches weren't getting too like overgrown or whatever, they might have assumed that it was actually their tree. Or if they had been like, you know, if it's partly on their property. It's saying that the center of the tree is not on their property, but it seems like part of the tree is on their property, which is a really weird thing. It's like they don't have fencing to where that it wouldn't be. I don't know, it seems like that's one of those, yeah, that's a unfortunate technicality that, you know, we got a bureaucratic ass planet. I don't think anybody's gonna give them the benefit of the doubt or show them any love on that, but that's unfortunate. But the thing that was really interesting to me that this brought up was kind of a little unrelated now that I see that they didn't try to steal it or anything like that, but just the idea of people placing ecological health and preservation of like trees and forests and things of that sort over their own economic livelihood is something that industrialized well-off people and the poor non-industrialized people of the world have at odds with one another. I forget who I was listening to. I feel like it might have been Jordan Peterson who mentioned it, even though that's not his direct area of expertise, that was talking about how if you want the entirety of the world to become ecologically minded and try to go green and, you know, fight global warming, you know, climate change, things of that sort, that the best solution is to make those people economically developed as fast as possible, because the countries like United States, France, who else is goes hardcore on climate change, these are all developed nations, to where if you were to look at it from the Maslow's hierarchy of needs standpoint, a lot more developed people in the United States, what they call weird Western educated, industrialized, rich and democratic people, are much more concerned with the ecological health of the world and thinking about like, oh, what are we going to do with our planet 50 years from now, than the people that are less economically well off, that are more concerned with, well, how am I just going to feed my kid tomorrow? The person that's more concerned with, I'm just needing to feed my kid tomorrow, is much more not much more likely, but has much less reservations when it comes to things like burning fossil fuels or cutting down trees or eating meat, for that matter, like vegetarianism and things of that sort. A lot of the issues, or a lot of the arguments around whether or not people are on board with climate change, has to do with people making changes to benefit the long-term ecological health of our planet over short-term and medium-term economic conditions for the people right now. So a lot of people are like, you know, we don't want to shut down we don't just want to stop using cars and you know, switch to electric immediately and all that stuff because we can't afford it. People don't want to stop working in coal burning industries because they have kids to feed, and it's like there was a whole, you know, issue a few years ago where people were just getting on Twitter blue check marks for telling minors to just learn how to code. They were saying, oh, it's okay, we're going to completely shut down your industry so that we can I'm not gonna say essentially just feel better about ourselves, but it is to assuage the concerns of people that are removed from these people economically and culturally, and trying to solve issues that the people in that industry, in those locations, don't directly feel. You know, it's one of those it's really easy for people when they're removed from situations to say, oh, it's simple, yeah, just learn how to code. But when you're actually a coal miner, you lived in coal mining towns, your town is got like the entire industries are the entire towns are based off of industries. There's so many towns across America that just like shrivel up and die whenever a factory, like a car factory, goes away or a manufacturing plant goes away. There's a whole other issue that comes along with that, like the opioid epidemic would hit those towns hard, or hit those towns hardest, because when people lose their jobs, they lose a sense of meaning, they lose lots of vitality and things of that sort. But I'm getting a little bit besides the point. But anyway, so this article reminded me of just that disconnect between the people that are always super concerned with ecological health, preservation of nature and things of that sort, and people that, you know, need money to get by. Like, I'm sure this person, like, these people said they have no ill intent in it, in what they were doing, but if they just needed to cut down the tree and they were like, yo, this is worth some money, the first thing on their mind wasn't, well, how long has it been here? Is this a you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not extinct, endangered plant species. You know, I mean, yeah, it's a big, beautiful, marvelous, wonderful tree and stuff like that, but it's if it's it's on their property, it's not like super far removed from them, like the redwood forests and stuff like that where people go, it's like a tourist spot or something. It was just on their property, you know. So but yeah, the first thing on their mind wasn't some tree hugger Bushnoi stuff. Was it Bushnoi? Who were the tree huggers? Bushnoi, the Janes, I wrote about that. I have to go reread my essay. I'm pretty sure it's the Bushnoi people that were the tree huggers. Anyways, that's besides the point. I've been rattling on about this for a good minute, but I just thought that was a really interesting one. If anybody happens to listen to this, what do you think about this? Is that something you've ever thought about, the difference between people that are concerned in climate change and people that are more concerned with economic productivity, economic just survival at this point? Honestly, like the countries that are most the higher polluters are, you know, the developing nations. It's China and India. So I just thought that was a really interesting thing. This article wasn't necessarily on that topic, but it brought up that topic to me. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you in another video. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, see you next time.
Someday I'm gonna have you